All right, Larkspur Library Board meeting, February 9th. It is 6:03. And we're gonna start with roll call. Mel Futterman.
Jeff Gunderson here.
Susan Faust.
All right, thank you. Not here are Ange Ahern and Jonathan Shambroom. We'll have number 2, approval of consent calendar, which will be the minutes. Do we have comment, questions? Or a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Minutes approved. Public comment. Do we have any?
There's no members of the public in attendance.
Okay, so we will move on to board members' reports and comments that are not on the agenda. Anyone has anything in particular to say? Yes,
I do not.
Susan, any other events that are not? Well, I want to say that I was at story time on Friday. And the library opened at 10, story time is at 10, and by 9:45, there was an ocean of children waiting with their parents. Someone had brought bubbles, which provided entertainment for those waiting. But it is high time, we have a bigger space for that very popular story time.
That's so good.
Hello, Ange.
Hey, I think you're here.
Okay,
It's almost too much, too many people. It's borderline.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great
a
problem.
good program and it is needed. So it just people rely on it. And I know a few people who come religiously because it is their part of their preschool homeschooling program. So thank you for having that. And Emma was great. Ange Ahern joined us. Yep. So Ange, we're at number 3. Did you have anything that you attended this month?
I did not.
Sorry, we're at number 4, board members reports and comments. Okay, number 5, director's oral report.
Okay, I was just wanted to focus in on what's coming in February as we start to close down. So we're gonna have Colors of Spanish next Friday for the story time hour. We are gonna have our classic Women Who Write poetry reading on Valentine's Day. This will be their, I believe, their 24th year.
Wow.
And so that's kind of it's a nice program to not end with, but it's glad they could make it in. And then we're gonna do one final art day, Saturday, April 28th, kind of cutting it close. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of programming.
What date is that?
Saturday, February 28th.
Okay.
And what is that one again?
It's called Art Day, and we have art supplies out, and it's an intergenerational program with different stations where people can do different art projects. So that'll be good. Otherwise, we're starting just to really move, and we have a lot of boxes and kind of getting things together. And I think that's really my report. We're really focused in on moving.
Mhm.
That's kind of the big thing. I didn't think of any
Don't hurt your back.
Yeah.
So you're saying you have boxes as the boxing started, or you?
Well,
You're at the
you're
bottom
just-
of the stairs, yeah?
Well, we have boxes, so there's like Friends book sale boxes down there. Then the Friends are culling books to send to Better World Books. We have box there. Friday, we're ordering books from the Touch Truck event. And so we had like 100 Amazon books, packages come in. And then we're having just new things like computer equipment, like the firewall switch came in. So there's just a lot of
So you have,
stuff.
do you think that you have new material coming that will not be unpacked until we are at the new space?
Yeah, we're unpacking it, but we're not gonna put it on the shelves for the public until we're over there.
And as far as boxing the books and the material that's going over there, have you started already, or is it gonna happen all on one day once the library is closed?
For the books, we'll start packing once we're closed, and we're gonna get carts, and then we have a moving company who's
Mhm.
gonna do the majority of it. But we've started to go through personal effects and some of the supplies and like I found these old historical photos and circulation records from 1966 and things like that. So we're starting kind of that
Okay,
process.
going-
What's the exact close date?
Don't have that yet.
Okay,
But close week,
Close, well, that might bleed into 6.1.
Okay.
But I could say, I don't want to say.
yes, okay, so we'll.
We'll go into 6.1
6.1.
maybe. I can say it.
If that's, yeah, I don't think we have anything more, we have no new staff and nothing else, so. If anybody has questions for the. No, overall report,
Okay.
right, so we'll move to 6.1 with,
Oh, sorry. So with the moving, that's getting pretty exciting. And so this week we're gonna do the punch list with the contractor. That's on the 11th. The tentative date for the majority of the furniture to come in would be February 18th. And then they still have to do some, other kind of things. We have what they call a punch list schedule. And right now, our moving date would be slated for Monday, March 17th. And we're kind of working back a little bit on what our exact close date would be. It would probably be the week before. But we're still kind of determining that final close date. I talked with Diana just real quickly, and the friends may want to do like a farewell tea Thursday, March 5th. That's still kind of to be determined, but that's something kind of out there. Once we have our final close date, then can kind of work on those things. We do have, you might have seen, we sent out the notification for save this date.
yes.
So the library will open up on Saturday, March 28th. And we've kind of gone all in on that and promoted it, so that'll be that day. So still kind of working out some of the details, and some of the things are somewhat sequential and rely on furniture actually to be delivered, et cetera. So that's the main schedule. And then we're gonna meet tomorrow with some people and talk about the logistics of moving, maybe. So I should probably know at the end of this week, early next, and we'll announce that closure time. We have kind of a plan on how we'll close, but once we have the dates, because we have to do things like reroute people's holds.
Yeah.
We probably won't make our collection available for paging, some details like that. One other thing to mention, I guess I didn't, is on Saturday, February 14th will be the last day the locker will be available for people. So we've emailed the high users and removed that location. And the other thing we've done in preparation is starting next week, if you check out a book from us, it won't be due until the first week of April. Because when we're closed, we don't want the books back because it kind of creates more workload until they're on the shelves. So you could still return it at another library, or, we'll have our return, but if people hold on to their books, that'll be okay. The challenge is to make sure people understand if their book is on hold from Tiburon or somewhere like that, it's still due on its regular date. But we don't do fines anymore, so it's not as big of an issue as it used to be for closing.
So what you're saying is that there will be no return here, but they can return the book. They will have to return the book somewhere else.
Or they can hold on to it. Yeah, they can
Yes.
return to any library in Marin County, or they could hold on to the books if they're a Larkspur item until that Saturday after it's April 5th.
do you think we should have a little slip that goes with books that get checked out?
I think when we have it all finalized, we want to do like the slip, we're closing this day. These are kind of all the big highlights. The day we close this book drop, the day you can return there. But
Just so people know they can return to other libraries or
Yeah.
keep the book till April.
Do we know all of the books that will be checked out are going to remain in circulation?
Some will go, are like the adult popular books will be on hold, and they'll kind of keep transitioning through the system as they go. probably the kids' books won't have holds on them, so when they return, they'll get into the delivery system and be returned in a bin. And then those bins get delivered every day.
But like, we're assuming that if books are checked out, they're pretty high demand and that they're not gonna be going out of circulation.
Probably if they're checked out, and it depends what they are a little bit. They will probably be missed from our collection. It's okay, like they're probably like older titles. And it's probably okay. It's like a balance of the workload versus not returning them. The kids' books, but as you know, too, one of the challenges with moving in is this library is going to hold a lot less books also than our current library. So that's going to be kind of a little math puzzle to figure out the returns. But
Yeah,
I don't think it'll probably affect some people a little bit, but it won't be too bad than
Okay.
other closures.
The
As long as we know
the
this.
closure will be what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Still kind of figuring that out. I would say a week or two at this point, and it changes a lot. So,
Right,
um,
okay.
and it might depend if we have talked about maybe a soft opening before the Saturday, like if everything's ready. Maybe, like some restaurants do, they do the
Yes.
soft opening. We might try a soft opening if everything's lined up like the Thursday or Friday before. But we'll have to see. Saturday is what we're promoting right now is the first open day.
For the minutes, Jonathan Shambroom is here. We're just going over the schedule of the opening, of the
Fantastic.
moving.
Hmm.
So we've got it all going. Any other question for the transition? At least
Are
for
we
the
on
moving?
6-1?
We are on 6-1.
I think the book brigade, can I
Yes,
just, I mean, Damon and I have been going to book brigade meetings and it
Mhm.
looks like it's a go. Do you know anything more?
So the book brigade, the city had a few concerns and the book brigade is gonna meet with the city manager tomorrow to discuss how it might look.
Okay,
do you know what those concerns were?
I don't want to kind of go into that level of detail.
Hmm.
I think it's just, is it the right time, the right date, those kind of things, and make sure all the logistics are worked out. Will be the discussion.
Is it on that opening day?
That's
On
what
the
the book
28th?
brigade would like to have
Yeah.
happen.
In the morning, you think?
That's what they were hoping for. I think it depends on the level, what the Commons Foundation is planning.
Yeah,
And at the day that save this date,
okay,
I think it will be more than just the library opening, but it might be a citywide celebration of different groups such as, police and fire being able to feature some of having a
Yeah.
table there
yeah,
and speech makers and that sort of thing.
So the Commons Foundation is planning something,
Yeah, they're the primary planner of the
and
outside events of the day. We will open up inside and be operational.
and have you been, are there meeting? Is anybody attending the Commons Foundation planning meeting? Do we know what's happening?
I'm not attending them. I think there's city representatives attending and the city council's on it, but I'm not 100% sure who's on.
I gotta get this on my calendar. The right times on that day, where I should be to watch the festivities.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to get the save this date out.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
we don't know, and so probably I don't know, week or so, maybe
Okay.
2 weeks, we'll have something that's, this time frame, this is speeches are this time frame, and this will be all the festivities and activities.
So do I have this right? That opening date on to be March 28th, and that whatever the Friends is planning may be scrapped, and that the Commons Foundation is planning festivities and no one knows what they are?
I would say no one here knows what they are, but there are people in the city who
That's
knows
what I
what
meant.
they
Still
yeah.
working it out, they're
Yeah.
probably working it out. Checking the weather.
There
That
is
is
one
correct.
unfortunate conflict on the 28th, which may take up some people, and that is that that's the day for the No Kings March, etc., which involves a lot of people. And I don't know how it involves public officials or police.
Is that in Corte Madera?
It's everywhere.
Okay,
I mean, I don't see anything specific, but it's probably going to be at Civic Center, and then there've been
Yeah.
things. I mean, it involves a lot of people, and I know I've mentioned the date to several friends, hoping they join the book brigade.
and so they,
So that's a big, I mean, that
Yeah.
is a con.
Yeah.
And I don't think it, I mean, the city is not in a position to take a stand on anything, but as a, there will be some competition for time.
Well, I understand for the police department, yes, that would be.
But the date will be set, so we did pass along those,
Yeah, I mean, it is really
So-
unfortunate. Because there are gonna be a lot of people who are torn.
Is the 28th set now?
it is a save this date. We don't know the time or the exact festivities. But that is gonna be the date it opens. Saturday, March 28th.
So
And
it's,
so I'm assuming it's a kind of a late morning kind of thing, but again, kind of to be determined. And then that would be our first Saturday open. So
okay.
not sure on our hours of open quite yet, but
Do you know if anyone from the Commons Foundation is coming tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, I think we should just reach out to them.
Yeah.
And
And-
just, you know, like, understand what they're planning,
Yeah.
reach out to them and ask directly.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to, but we're gonna have to do that individually,
Yeah,
um,
I can do that.
because we can't do it as a board, no, not being.
As a representative, you can maybe
Yeah, we can,
represent the group.
But then the board won't know, because outside of our meeting, we won't be able to report to each,
well, we
of
have
you,
a
what
meeting
is it?
before the opening in March.
not, I won't be here, but, that's okay. No. But just so that we need to just find out, just,
And as soon as I know more, I'll pass it along to the whole group.
Okay.
We can't discuss it, but I'll give you as much as. I
You can tell us, right? You can disseminate information to
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
So if you reach out, tell David,
Yeah,
great.
great.
And I think it's all moving really quick too with
Yeah.
this, and then, the week after it is spring break, which kind of complicated things for who could be there, so it's just kind of moving fast, and so.
The week
Okay.
after spring break for school kids?
It's,
That's early, I think.
April
Yeah.
sixth
Oh,
is the spring break week this year.
Yeah, so those 2 Saturdays, the 4th and 11th are kind of
Right.
both.
Got it.
Yeah,
Right, it's people, yeah.
anything else about the updates on opening and timeline? You will reach out and find out, and then after that, and then we get to know.
And then the other thing, I'm sorry, Jonathan, I can't remember if you were here when I said, but I think March 5th is trending as like a farewell tea downstairs.
Okay, yeah.
I'll let you know when that's solidified, but that would be a friend's sponsored activity, and they're waiting to get the final date. But that's kind of the farewell idea downstairs right now.
we talked last time about like what the role of the board is in any opening ceremony. I think in my head, it's really just physically being there and supporting without it, and I think we kind of decided on that. Is that still where we are for the 28th?
What we had asked is that to have a moment to just thank everyone, because we were the only body, first of all, with the library board. Everybody just tell us what they're doing. And also, we do not run for office as opposed to city council members,
Mm-hmm.
and we do not raise money. So we do not ask for anything. we are truly just a representative of the patrons and helping the director just make sure that the library is good for the patrons.
Yeah, that's
So I-
right. We talked about saying thank you and
About the-
special thanks to those of you who
Ah.
know who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did talk to Catherine Way about that and asked and told her that we would like to have just a minute and a half so that we can, it doesn't have to be a minute and a half, that was symbolic. To have a short
Mhm.
moment where we can truly just, one, tell everyone that there is a board and they can attend and, you know, let us know what they need and what they like and what they would like to see, what else done. And then two, that we can just make sure that everyone who has worked on it is or feel thanked. We're not gonna, as you say, mention everybody by name, but we'll find a way.
Mm.
So,
I guess we sort of have to know who else is being thanked along the way, but how we fit into the program. But I think the visibility is important for the board.
well, I did, when I talked to Catherine, I did ask her that we wanted to be first.
Oh, well, but
Because we are
good.
we are supposed to be the hub where everybody just comes to exchange ideas and said, then everybody can go and the foundation can go in the details of thanking everybody who built it and, you know, whatever.
That's right.
But we just, we can thank the city council. We know who's been doing it. And we're the only one who do not have any skin in the game. We're not to gain anything from it. So, that's where I left it.
How did she respond to that?
Well, she said that she was going to talk to whoever was organizing it, but at the time I was not aware that the Brook Brigade was maybe not happening. I talked to her last week, so.
And when will we find out the next insight into that schedule? How did you leave it with Catherine?
I did not put any
Okay.
um,
What,
follow-up deadline.
okay,
So I can follow up with Catherine about that, and then you can follow with the foundation and see
Mhm.
what their plans are.
The comments, yeah.
And we can do on a two-prong
Yeah.
approach, just to make sure that,
yep,
one, we know what's going on, two, we make sure that we get, thank everyone.
yeah, I think we should just plan on that. And that we'll pursue it and, you know, do everything we can to make sure it happens. We are the board of the library, as you say, we're ambassadors of the library, it's appropriate. My guess is that it will happen, and our presence there, I think, is the right thing. You know, we're gonna represent, we'll be present. I think as we said last time, it's appropriate to acknowledge. And then, you know, thank other groups and then let them have their, you know, their spotlight. Lots of groups did yeoman's work,
Yeah.
right? Making this possible.
Yep.
But this group are the trustees of the library and the
Right.
shepherd of
Mhm.
that we,
Mhm.
you know, support. So I think it's essential that we have that
Mhm.
timeframe.
Because we represent the patrons, really,
That's right.
Mhm.
So,
okay, thank you. Any other comments about the,
I mean, I think we'll hear as soon as they do get plans going, because they're gonna want to get the word out as to what they're doing. You know, and the Commons still wants to raise money for things, and the Friends certainly are people who, you know, done some very heavy lifting in all this too. I just wonder if like people like Joe Jennings will be there and some of the people who initiate a lot of the huge fundraising activities early on will be there, but we'll find that out soon, I'm sure. And, you know, and I think you're right. I think our March 9th meeting, it'll be all you know, we'll know what role we'll play in this
Mhm.
thing. And even if it's just a face there as representing, look, there is a library board that has been excited about this forever. And so, you know, keep the momentum going as much as we possibly can.
good?
Yeah, it's amazingly exciting. So it's cool.
I should say one other thing, in case you missed it, is the Commons Foundation is gonna formally transition to being a support foundation. kind of this month. So they'll be a group who provides some financial support led by Ann. That still needs to be worked out, what that looks like, how much, but the Commons Foundation has kind of, I want to say stopped. But they're definitely winding down and there's no more names to sell. So there'll be a foundation of support now moving forward.
And are they gonna change their name?
I believe so,
Okay.
but
And it's gonna be for the Commons building or the programming and
It-
things are.
it's still to kind of be to work out, but they'll be able to be a fiscal agent to provide
Great.
monetary
Okay, good.
support to the library and the whole area along with the Friends group.
Yeah,
And they announced that at the last city council meeting and came to last city council and said that.
okay, that's good, because they have a lot of connections to people who in the past probably didn't donate a whole lot to city resources and facilities, so you don't want to lose those connections for sure. But I could see how they'd be all, it's a big conglomeration of different groups there too.
Yeah, it will be interesting it's good of them to continue on.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see what their charter is in terms of what they are funding, what they're looking to fund. 6.2, letter to city council. Thank you, Jonathan and Susan, for drafting it.
Yeah,
We
it's good.
all have it. Susan, you want to mention the edits you
Oh, okay.
you had mentioned earlier?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah.
Jonathan and I sort of had a vision here that the letter honor the work that's been done and also make a case for the library in the future. And as we looked at a lot of the numbers, gaps and shortfalls sort of jumped out at us. And I don't know if some of that information would be interesting for the Commons Foundation going forward, but so you've got a draft, but we keep, well, we have a couple of, things that need to be looked at. One, I've made a bunch of little edits because I can't leave well enough alone. So I don't have a hard copy for you, but I have something in red and we can kind of go over it quickly to make sure you approve. Most of it's just wordsmithing, but you want to say something about statistics and all?
Oh, well, first I'd like to thank Damon for keeping stats
Oh,
since the beginning. I mean, it's a decade's worth of fiscal year stats, which means that they actually fall first half, second half of the year overlapping. So like July through June is how they've been kept. But all that raw data is available. And for this letter, for some of the stats, we have translated that into year over year because it's compelling. As Susan said, the numbers tell the story for us. We do less with more.
Mhm.
We have great engagement. We have great activities and servicing of the community needs. And we do it with a far lower budget per capita than any of our neighboring towns. And that is already in the letter because the spending per resident, we're less than half of the average amongst all of our neighbors. And that's included in the body of the letter. We have great library card holdership membership compared to the national average, at least by some measure. And I think we'll triple check everything before we put it out there. There are two sections that you see in the draft and they still display of some stats still to come. And I think we can easily fill this in with either just specific highlights that illustrate this case, whether that's like a whole year of, hey, here's 2025, and here's how it compares to previous year, because we continue to improve. But the difference between Larkspur and neighboring towns, it also persists. And that's really what we want to call out, because that shows, one, we're extremely good stewards of small amounts of funds, and the needs of the community, they're really clear based on consumption and engagement and utilization stats, which we want to call out,
Mhm.
which lay the foundation for,
Give us more.
right? And as the letter states, the new facility is phenomenal. and the proximity to schools, plus the newness, the halo and aura effect of it's new and it's beautiful and it's just fantastic. I think it's going to attract
Mhm.
more patronage, more usage, and we're going to need to service, I think, a greater need. So the case for how to request more budget and how to allocate it, it's clear. I mean, some of it's anticipation, but showing how well we do with the current budget, I think it's useful for that to be in the letter, whether that's, just implicit or very overt. So much of it's in, and Damon, I can, I'm happy to get with you or just request some specific highlights, even if it's not year over year, and avoid the whole mismatch of fiscal versus calendar years.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, so I think a final version we can circulate, very quickly with that in there.
There was some other numbers that you sent that I thought were really compelling, and that was that we have a smaller sized collection and shorter hours, and that those two things, even, and our circulation is still very healthy. It's higher than Belvedere Tiburon
Right.
with,
Wow.
so I kind of drafted a paragraph that supports that,
Yes.
but I don't know, how we're gonna work on
And
that.
I think we keep it simple,
Yeah,
right? Because that says it exactly.
Mhm.
In fewer hours with a smaller circulation and lower budget, we still achieve more than our peers. And it's a tribute to the library staff
And the location, because we are, as you say, we are located with all these elementary school around us, and that's where the kids go after school.
right. Well, that's
That's-
upcoming.
And
That's
that's.
a-
I think that will increase
That's
it.
correct.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
very correct. Do you want to read that paragraph, you?
would you, is that okay? I mean, I don't know if you've seen it
Nope.
yet.
I did, I read it.
Because
Oh, because I was
Yeah.
fiddling around this
my only
morning.
point is that if you read it and then we approve it,
Right.
then we can approve the letter with
Right.
this paragraph to be added to it, and we don't have to get back
Okay.
to it next month.
Fantastic.
All right.
Good.
So I'm just gonna tell you the changes. One thing I changed in the opening paragraph is I switched the Board of Trustees and local support organizations. I just switched the order because that's the order of the points we're gonna make.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see, we made a couple of little grammatical changes. I won't go over that.
That's good.
Okay, but this is what I wrote this morning. Jonathan hasn't seen it.
No, I did.
Or did you see it?
And-
Okay.
And I wrote back saying,
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, I didn't know what
Printed
that you
in
meant.
black for everybody, and I thought it was great.
Okay, well, I was
That's
not
okay.
near a printer. Okay, so that paragraph is the second to the, it's right before we thank everybody. So to date, the library does more with less. It should be noted that compared to libraries in neighboring towns, Larkspur boasts healthy circulation numbers given the smaller size of its collection and its shorter hours. Larkspur also boasts high engagement metrics, a point of pride. Nearly 50% of Larkspur residents hold library cards as compared to 33% nationwide. Still, Larkspur's per capita library spending is by far the lowest in Marin County at $68.83, less than half the average at $143.88 across Marin net libraries. This imbalance merits attention, and adequate funding remains an issue.
Excellent.
Yeah, I
That's
think
it.
it's great.
Okay.
The only
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
the only question I had is on the per capita spending.
Yeah.
Is it per capita? It's not, we just don't have the budget to spend more, right? So is it per capita budgeted?
Resident. It's based on population.
Right,
I would guess it's the amount of the budget divided by the number of
but
residents.
it's not, I think it's the spending, the word spending that I'm asking,
Okay.
because it's, Larkspur's per capita spending for the library is the lowest in Marin County. Is it?
Or should we say budget?
The
Well, but you-
68.
It sounds like we have more that we're not spending, is I guess.
It's the budget, not spending.
Right.
The amount that we're allocated relative to
Allocated,
the size
I think
of
is right.
population is lower.
Yeah,
Okay, wait a minute.
Larkspur's per capita allocation, or Larkspur's allocation per resident for the library is
What
lower.
are you looking at?
She
Bottom
doesn't,
page
oh,
one.
and we've got, I mean, it's been
No, it's
rewritten
the
a bit.
bottom of this page.
So
So
how,
it says budget on mine.
It says Larkspur's per capita library budget is, right?
Oh,
Yes.
you wanted to say budget?
Before.
Just, yeah, I
All the
just
ones
feel like
before.
it's not, I
Okay, cool.
read it,
Budget
and I
is
was
more
like,
clear.
it's
you.
not,
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not that we have money that we're not spending.
Correct.
okay,
Yes,
Larkspur
yes,
per
yes,
capita
yes.
library budget is by
Yes.
far the lowest in Marin
And
County.
is per
Yeah.
capita clear and also
Yep.
accurate?
Yeah, the per capita is accurate, and per capita, when it says spending, is like the previous fiscal year about when we report how much we spent.
Right.
Just
Mhm.
budgeted,
And we're
But-
gonna,
but the budget's probably okay. I mean, the budget and spending for us is,
I think the
The
language
same.
was
Same.
fine.
The spending, I see your point. It
Yeah.
may,
Yeah.
somebody might say, well, you're not spending all of it.
Right,
Mhm,
yeah, right. It's a great
yeah.
Good call, yeah.
clarification, so it's.
Yeah,
I'm
good
just
call.
thinking of
So
It's
you're
not
at it,
as if they were-
It's nitpicky, but.
No, no, it's
That's
right
good.
there.
But are we gonna provide that table on as a statistic?
If we have it so that it's apples to apples, if we're gonna say. How we did in 25 versus 24, of like engagement went up in these areas. then I
Oh, well,
think
no, I
that's
was just
good.
talking about
The
the,
spending
the
is
per
apples to
capita one.
apples. The
Oh.
per capita is.
Yeah.
I
apples to
love that,
apples.
yes.
so that'll be in there.
Okay,
So
as
the other
as
programming.
An appendix.
Yes.
okay. So we will have,
And there were,
Otherwise, it sounds wonderful.
there were a couple of other things I saw on, I don't have them at hand, but there was the one that showed
Children,
the circulation. And the size of the collections and the spend, yeah. You sent us something. I've got it somewhere. It was comparing the Larkspur to to neighboring communities. So I'll see if I can find it.
I thought that was the one you just mentioned, the per capita spending.
so it's
Spent,
that's the overall budget,
Yeah,
and then there's, at a more detailed level, there's comparison of things like. Collection size or circulation numbers, which I think are really telling, because that's the activity level, that is
Yeah.
Yeah.
the best measure of engagement.
mhm,
And we could, what I'd like to do is show it relative to our population and also our budget, how does it compare to
okay.
neighboring towns?
So there would be attached to this letter,
Yeah,
a graph with these different,
well, right here, it needs to be
Right.
this is the second
right,
page. of
the
it.
tables with those three different measures.
Mhm.
and the circulation is calendar year, that one I sent you. Even though it says fiscal year, because they call it the fiscal year in the calendar year. It's a whole
Okay,
thing, but that numbers are comparing calendar years.
Yeah, there's something that shows the size of the collection.
do we know the size of collection for the neighboring libraries?
Yeah, that was and that's a calendar year, so that those stats all come from December 31st, 2025.
Why does it say FY 26-27?
They do the FY 25, the fiscal year statistics for MarinNet at the end of the calendar year.
Oh, I see.
So this calendar year that ended on December 31st, 25 feeds fiscal 26 to 27 in Marinette?
Yeah, because
Okay.
our formula is based upon those metrics. And so our charges and our percentage is based on those, so that's why they do it that year, but we adopt the MarinNet budget in March, so that's why they need those stats. And that budget would be for July 1st, the following fiscal year.
Got it.
So I'm not quite certain I understand why the size of the collection is as important, given that people can borrow from different libraries. So the size of our collection is not,
It's a good point.
is
So
not as,
let's put that in perspective.
Circulation's probably the big number, the
Yeah.
big comparison, and that's why this was the first year we passed Tiburon as usage. Which is, I think, very impressive. The collection size is almost dictated by the physical size of the building, so
right.
that isn't as.
but it's not because the circulation would be bigger than the collection because we have material coming from
Other,
all libraries.
But people
So is
who
everything
want,
else.
some people may want access to more right at their fingertips, which may generate more traffic if you have a larger collection.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like I know families go to Corte Madera because their children's collection's a little more accessible.
It
They'll probably
generates
change
some
over there.
revenue.
And when you say accessible, is it because it's bigger or because the children's room is more welcoming?
It's bigger substantially.
They've got more.
It'll be, our new library, they'll be equal, I don't know, equal,
Yeah.
but closer in size. This space is small and
Small.
challenging for some people,
Right.
so I think sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't for collection size. Like adult nonfiction, I don't think it really matters that
I'm
much.
not certain that I would put the collection in it. I think it would be, is it really compelling or do we want to go down we're moving away from books and from?
Well, I
we
think
will have,
that, also with the new library
We'll have-
space, the collection will necessarily be smaller. I'm not sure it helps us that.
I,
way.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not about the collection, it's about how much it's circulating.
Yes,
I
it's,
think we all agree
Yeah.
on that.
okay.
So we could take out, given the smaller size of the collection and shorter hours? Do you want to remove?
No, that's okay,
Oh.
but I think in
Oh.
the, in.
We don't need to
in the-
compare
Oh,
Right.
okay.
the size. Are we able to compare the programming, number of activities? I don't know if the stats from other libraries are available.
I can only do 22 and 23
That-
to ours.
that's
Fiscal
in the
year
middle of
22,
COVID.
Yeah,
um.
so do we have that? That's historical, a few years ago, but do we know it for a time period where we can look at ours versus theirs for programming?
We'd have to compare, and I'd have to locate, yeah, the earliest we could go back would be fiscal year 22,
I don't know
23.
if that, I don't
Yeah,
recommend that we do that.
it could be-
Because they could have changed since then, we have changed
Yeah.
since then, and
Yeah.
so unless it's current.
Yeah.
We can talk about how our programming continues to evolve and grow. And how engaged our community is.
So
Hmm.
even here under staff highlights where it says total circulation and all aspects of programming increased. I mean, do we know that? And you had
Yeah.
staff shortages and moving,
It's
that
definitely-
wording might not be,
Yeah,
the total circulation you can document,
Mhm. That's a hard number.
yeah. But I don't know,
And programming stats, we're counting people and sometimes estimate, it's a little, the total number of programs is hard, but attendance is somewhat soft, especially comparing.
so we could say the total circulation has increased and programming has continued to be healthy or something like that.
robust.
The number of programs is
Or like
increased.
programming has continued to evolve.
Well,
Okay,
Well, I think I like increased better,
Well,
so the ball
But
can
we
go
don't
back
know
or
if
down.
that's true.
Stephen, do we know if the programming did increase year over year?
Yeah,
In any aspect, like,
the number of programs did slightly throughout the years, especially coming out of COVID, and this year we did more. The one I'm not sure about so much is attendance.
well, let's limit this to then what we know is true.
Mhm.
And we could say
Right.
total circulation and number of programming events continues to increase. on a
Yeah.
yearly
That's,
basis.
that's.
total
that's accurate.
circulation
And
And
number,
number of programming
and
events.
number of programming events, a number of programs. Programming events
either one, programs or programming events.
has continued,
Programmed events, really.
okay,
So the part that you read to us, Susan, replaces some of this last paragraph on that first page.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds real good.
so under engagement, it's just gonna say total circulation and the number of programmed events has increased from 2024.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
Absolutely.
Any other
Any more edits you have?
comments?
we changed a few tiny things.
I have one possible.
Oh, good,
The signatures, I don't think we're directors.
I changed it to Library Board of
Trustees.
Trustees. I changed that.
I don't want to be there.
The other one thing I had
Yeah.
was, it says. We expect to see a rise in overall and greater variety, particularly with the kid and student population. I don't know, this is like super stylistic on my part, but I think it just sounds better to say, particularly with the child/teen and student population than kid.
Where's
Oh,
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
change
yeah.
kids to
Remove
child
that,
slash-
yeah,
Casual,
yeah.
Um, where am I?
kid and student population.
Yeah, right. Oh, maybe it
It's
doesn't
beneath
say
that
that
paragraph.
anymore.
Yeah, I
It
might
could-
have changed.
It could probably just stay at student too.
Let's see.
Yeah, or
Just
student is
student,
fine.
student.
Unfortunately,
population.
I've tinkered without,
Did you think already?
We could not be more excited.
we took that whole thing out.
Oh.
I have that.
I'm
You
excited.
do?
Yeah, I have it up on my screen and
Yeah, remember we took it out and we put stuff,
So it says the transition to this will require usage is expected to go up given, yeah, okay, it doesn't have it in
we
there.
took that paragraph
Yeah.
out.
Okay, good.
And
Okay,
we
good.
moved stuff.
Yeah, that was the only other. thing
Sorry.
that read weird
But
to
you-
me.
but
Just
you're
popped
still,
out.
you're still mentioning that we expect to see an increase in usage.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it
somewhere,
mentions the student.
somewhere and
population.
somehow, it's.
Yeah, it says.
Yeah, no, it just says the move to Rose Lane will present opportunities along with challenges, many but not all anticipated. The transition to a state-of-the-art building will require both planning and flexibility. Usage is expected to go up, especially given our close proximity to local schools, namely Hall Middle School and Redwood High School, and given greatly improved parking.
Great.
Community engagement
That's
in the new space
yeah.
will be monitored to assess growing needs. For example, material acquisition, program services, and open hours.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you don't have this.
That-
That's
No,
okay.
that's perfect.
I'm really sorry.
No,
Yeah, I'd like
we did
to-
too much work, Susan, don't be sorry.
That's perfect.
Is that okay? All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
No, thank you.
You did good. You did good at it.
All right, so to recap, we'll have the letter in the version saying all the things that we mentioned, plus the extra paragraph that you have in red, that you have in black that we don't have, and the graph that is coming from here.
that is right.
I changed one other thing. I'm sorry. And it all happened this morning.
This morning.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, I can't leave well enough alone. Okay, so I called out, we thank, at the very end, thank the board. The board is grateful to the dedicated staff under the leadership of Director Hill and the devoted support groups. New sentence. The board is also grateful for the continued commitment of the city of Larkspur, and then name
Yeah.
the different
Okay.
entities. But I thought
Yeah.
that commitment from the city
Yeah.
was important.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No,
No, it's
no,
No, it's good.
don't
That's
be
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a
Thank-
motion to approve all those things we discussed that we saw in red and the things that were in black. And anything else that you might find that is grammatical or obvious to
will.
change, and the statistics that may fall into the appendices.
Anyone would like to
Motion.
second
Second that
Yeah.
motion. That's a great.
That's one of the nicest motions I think.
That was
All in
good. I
favor?
want to
That's
get
good,
that
thank
out
you.
before
I
we
think you
forgot.
covered.
No, that's
Okay,
Thank you.
let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, motion approved.
great.
And
We
then
didn't
just,
need it, please.
just as a point, then you'll send that to me when it's done, and then I'll send it to the city clerk.
Perfect.
Okay. And
We'll send it to the city council. for
it'll all
the
be in
meeting.
black.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The copy too.
Okay, I'll send everyone the final.
You guys did a really good job with
Yeah.
that, because I
Thank
think
you.
it is important right now to make sure that that advocacy is embedded in that letter, which is in the past has been sort of just a, regurgitation of, just sort of
Yeah.
a synopsis of what has happened in the past
Yep.
and supportive, but this is actually a really good advocacy kind of document. So it's very cool. You guys did really well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And does this letter become public record or publicly available? And is it on the website?
I know it's publicly, I'll have to find out on the website exactly. I think it's included in the next packet with the city council when we send it is where
Got it.
it goes. But I'll confirm.
Great.
All right.
Do we have a
Number
deadline
two.
for when you want this?
I don't have a deadline, probably sooner is always
Want-
better than like.
Do some more
like-
editing.
like-
No, that's
like
when
this-
it's gonna be done,
like
is
it-
when the deadline is.
If possible, this week would be nice.
Do you think that it's important to have it early because all eyes and attention are on the library?
Mhm.
And we just want to just have these points made when everybody's paying it, before something else shows up and grabs.
Mhm.
And the city council is not sitting idle, doing nothing but library business, so. But thank you to them for,
Okay.
again, for doing that, and Jonathan
Mm.
for crunching those
I
numbers.
greatly enjoyed
Mhm.
working on this with Susan.
Yeah, it was
Right.
fun.
Good.
I learned a
Thank you.
lot.
Good.
All right, item 7, future agenda items.
I think we'll come back, the next meeting and have a more solidified idea of the different events and where we fit into those. Yeah, so just, I guess,
So let's,
follow up on opening events.
yeah, the update on library opening. and
Yeah.
Follow up. I do think that we should also plan on having a draft of whatever we will want to say, because it will be March and the opening is on March 28th, so there won't be a meeting between now and then, so
But you should be the one to say it, right, as the president of the
it
board?
doesn't matter who said it, it should come from all of us, so we need.
No,
to
I
all-
get that, but you won't be here, right, at the next meeting.
I will not be here at the right meeting, so you can just put words in my mouth.
Oh,
I think,
After
should we,
this letter, I am very confident that whatever you come up with will be just wait.
do you want to check with Catherine to see that, make sure that we're first and how we set things up for everybody else?
I will check with Catherine and I will send the information back to Ange. Because I can do to one person, and so whatever I find out from Catherine, I will let Ange know,
Okay,
because I won't make the next
Yeah.
meeting, during which you'll be, hashing out the letter. Not the letter, the short,
The remarks.
the short remark, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And do we have a policy that we need to
Yeah,
hash out
tutoring.
before?
Maybe, I think what I'm waiting for is to understand if we're gonna have like what policies we're gonna have in place when we open, and I need to work with the city manager on that. So I kind of would like to know what the exact policy of those 4 rooms are before we bring it for a
Mhm.
final.
We did start the tutoring one. Is that contingent on the city stuff?
It is on the room rental, and if we have the software final, I'd kind of just like to know if we're renting it an hour or, not renting it, but allowing 1 hour use or 2 hour, or if it's the city manager's call or all library, or how that's all lined up, maybe before we finalize the tutor policy. Cause I think our first discussion was really good, and the theories are kind of all there, but to bring it back for a final approval, like to do that. But I really want to do it because this week we had probably 6 or 7 tutors downstairs, and that's all that was down there. So I think it's only gonna be larger over there.
So
And-
this week, when you had all these tutors, did you pick up on something that is not covered by the policy we had?
It's kind of implied. The one thing I was a little like going on is they were moving the furniture a little too aggressively. Um, they're not really supposed to do that, you
That needs to
know?
go in there.
Yeah, I think it might be, yeah, I we'll have to look if we agreed that,
Furniture
but
should remain in place.
yeah,
Well, policies are not on the agenda, so we can't really
So, yeah.
discuss it.
Oh, no.
No,
we
but that-
should,
but I might bring it if we have that worked out, because I think I'm gonna know a lot more about the new library in this next month.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we should have as a future agenda item for next month's policy.
Potential, policies
Sort
as
of
a whole, or maybe,
provisional.
yeah. And some of it too, we were kind of talking about things, it's kind of more of a city man, but like, what's gonna be our dog policy?
Right.
And service animals, because right now
Mhm.
people bring in their dog very frequently here. And so we're kind of having that discussion. 'Cause it'll be a major change if we don't allow dogs in, and there's gonna be feedback.
yeah.
People are bringing non-service animals in the library.
They have, and it's a big,
They're in the grocery.
like, right
store.
now, our policy is it has to be under control, but
Mm.
it's not service animal.
Which is very subjective.
Yeah, so.
Control and service animal. can be
And we've
subject.
had-
Well, service animal
Is-
can be sorry, it's a service animal and under control?
Well,
Or
no,
it's-
that's the legal definition, and I think that's how most libraries go, but we've had some people. Like. Like one was out of control because they didn't have, it was running up and down and all around, so then we had to tell the person. You can't do that. If someone has like their small dog and they get a hold real quick. We don't say anything. Someone had their dog tied up to the chair the other day inside. Someone brought their dogs to the program, so we
Moving
wanted,
furniture.
we're trending towards not only allowing service
Right.
animals.
Do you know what the other
Yeah,
libraries?
what are the other ones? do?
Everyone else is very strict.
Really?
Well,
It
then
seems
that's
to me
easy.
Like that's appropriate.
Yeah, it's a
Our new
kind of a
residents
small
think-
Larkspur.
I mean, it all
Sorry.
seems to me like we have so much new outside space at the new spot that, it's, it isn't maybe just like cut and dry, but it's on the in the inside areas type of thing, because it's gonna be pretty impossible to say no dogs in the outside area, just people going for a walk and
Yeah.
walking through, right? So I think it's, again, I hear what you're saying. We don't have enough information yet from the city to understand what that policy is gonna look like, but
I would say now is the time
Yes,
to correct things that are out of whack.
yes.
Like if a policy has been too lenient or too strict, moving to this new facility is the right
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, this is
Mhm.
it's a
Reset.
transition, and I also agree. I think this is a good precedent from our neighbors, we're strict with animals, and I would suggest we,
Especially given that you have reason to see why. It's not as if,
Yeah, that's.
I've never heard of, bringing just willy-nilly bringing any dogs into the library, honestly. Like, I just
Yeah.
haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
It strikes me as very,
Service animals only.
yeah.
Probably
we
once
can-
a day, someone comes to, they may not come to the library, but they walk in the library with their dog and use the bathroom outside the library. Which is
The
less
dog.
than ideal. One dog walker, 6. that go-
Oh.
So
Dog
wait-
walker.
Anyway,
with a
sorry,
bunch
getting
of
down the
dogs.
rabbit hole a little
But
here
again,
with
we-
this, but.
Discuss
Maybe-
policies now.
but-
Putting it on the agenda.
Maybe put
But
it on the
having
agenda.
policies, and I think there are some that I'll bring like that one.
Canine
I'm-
control.
Yeah.
So it should be,
Canine
it
control.
should be any policies that you think that
Mm.
should be
Yeah.
hatched out, and ironed out
Yeah.
before, in March, you should bring them.
And I think it's figuring out also too what the city really wants a lot of input on and what's really library content. So like tutor programming is clearly library, so.
Yeah, I think it is maybe a good agenda item for next time to broadly think about categories of policies, like what you're saying, and how much autonomy the library has over which policy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to know how the community rooms are gonna be administered.
Yeah, we're gonna start talking that tomorrow. We have a meeting about
Yeah.
the community rooms tomorrow with the city, and Dan and I are gonna start talking about how,
Yeah.
because those will have a fee, and then what's the priority for different groups and.
David, just on Angie's request, which I think is
Mhm.
great. Does there exist a catalog of every policy? Right now, is there just a list, not, and then the policies themselves,
The ones we've adopted are on our website,
okay?
and then I have a list I'm working with the city manager on of potential. Policies we may need before we open,
Okay.
like revising our. Patron behavior or patron code of conduct policy.
And is it clear on a per policy basis? The oversight or the authority to finalize a policy? Whether it's library plus city council or city council? Like, is it clear? Does that exist?
This will be a little different because we're in the same building right now. So a lot of it will be kind of going, policy by policy and discussion by discussion. And since there's city room, what those 3 community rooms are managed by the city, or technically they're city rooms. So we have to talk about all that with the city manager
Yeah.
and see where all this lands.
Right, but because the library is a city library, all the policies fall under the bigger umbrella of the city
So-
main policy, so they have to, they probably have to recognize them or.
Yeah, and then others are gonna have
Yeah.
more input on than others.
Right.
But ultimately, they're all
Yes.
city policies.
Yeah.
Okay, great, that answers that,
right,
then.
yeah.
So they need to adopt or approve
Mhm.
all policies, and some they might be more active in the content,
In the craft.
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay?
And it's a city manager who approves all policies, it won't be council.
Hmm.
Anybody else on that? Any other future agenda item for March? That can be,
We're good.
so we have three library role or list of policies and which one the library has a say in. The date that we have is March 9th. I will not be here.
I will be here.
I will be here. Oh. I will be here, but my husband is gonna be on a business trip, so I'll have to figure out with my kids if I can do that.
My house will be empty. They can go in party.
I mean, my house will be empty too then. That's the problem.
I will be here.
You'll be, I could come, you can.
We have a quorum.
Yeah, I'll help, I can ask my babysitter to stay later, but I have to make sure she can, but
Okay.
likely I can be
Alright,
here.
They
sorry.
could come as the public if they'd like.
I,
Yeah.
I am.
Might as well start letting dogs in.
Dogs.
Yeah.
and kids.
I think,
I'll be babysitting in Dallas, so I can't even come on screen because I'll be babysitting.
and I guess you would chair the meeting.
And
Right,
Ange will be the
so-
chair. Thank you, Ange.
Mhm.
Thank you all. I guess that we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Motion.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, seconded?
Okay,
All right,
meeting is adjourned
So adjourned.
at 7:03.
thank you, everyone.
Have you?
So